Hello everybody, welcome to the unofficial Horror Nights production diaries. This is Chapter 1, The Scare Zones. Basically what Chapter 1 entails is 3 scare zones as of September 15th, 2006. What they look like, they're around the park in plain view, and let's go check them out. First up is the Scare Zone Deadtropolis, which is in New York City streets. It's a takeoff on the haunted house that was 2 years ago up in the earthquake queue. This first shot's looking down New York City, right by the big statue right there with all the pigeons take a dump on. Right there is one of the toxic trucks that basically turned all the people into zombies, I take it. I'm just guessing here. And we'll just look at the detail setting up around here. This shot right here shows it's better to use a tripod than using your hands. I'm sorry if you're going to get a headache from this. Right over here is one of the many fog machines that'll be camouflaged across the street to make a nice atmosphere. Another shot of one of the fog machines over by Nazerman's. As you recall, back in Halloween past, Nazerman's used to house some pretty good haunted houses. The Fear House was in there, and it used to be ran by Jack the Clown back in Halloween Horror Nights 10. Right here's a good shot of the alleyway that most chickens and scaredy cats probably won't even walk down, but there's a lot of good detail over here. You have a lot of debris from this apocalypse of Deadtropolis stationed all over the place. And over here on the left, you're going to see some shopping carts stacked up in a very paranormal way. With the flow of traffic set up throughout the park during Horror Nights, most people won't even go down this alleyway. So if you're brave enough, give it a try. For some reason, zombies like to hang up plastic tarps on clotheslines. And here we go over to the shopping carts again. Kind of looks like an alleyway on OBT, the way they're stacked up like that. Alright, we're pretty close to the Central Park area right here, and here's a little newsstand. It's a newsstand with a hot dog cart right next to it. And this one lady actually comes up to the hot dog cart there and asks, are these real? And of course they're made out of plastic, so no, you cannot eat these freaking hot dogs, lady. Oh, get that hand out of there. Alright, here's the Partridge Family's bus. It's been a long time since those roaring 70s of all the pot smoking and everything. As you can see, there's some hubcaps from sale. Got the rims, the OG. And we're just going to take a tour around this little bus. You can see all the detail, all the rust painted on this bus. It's a pretty good prop piece, and I think a lot of people love it. And there's Toxic Vapors again. That's selling the storyline again of this toxic nightmare that created this zombie world of Deadtropolis. Here's some electrical devices. This is kind of by where the Robosaurus area should be, so maybe that's for the Robosaurus show, I'm not too sure. The second scare zone we're going to visit is Blood Masquerade. It was originally going to be entitled Nightmare Alley, but they scrapped that idea, probably because they're already using the horror icons in die-in. Blood Masquerade is a vampire masquerade that takes place between the Shrek and the old Xena and Herc building. And here's some of the set pieces. It's going to be a very foggy area, it looks like, and here's one of the stagings. There's 2 of these stages set up. Here's a closer look at one of the stages where a vampire sexy she-devil will probably be dancing on top of there. There's a step pedal that'll start a nice little effect, hopefully. Based on past experiences with a scare zone in the same exact spot, it's not a heavily crowded area. A lot of guests don't even go down this road. I remember with Nightmare Alley, it was vacant almost, with just the Horror Night characters just standing around looking for someone to scare. Our last scare zone today will be the Harvest of the Souls. Those of you who are fans of the Cornfield back in the good old days of IOA Halloween Horror Nights will feel right at home here. Harvest of the Souls takes place in the Central Park area. As you see, a lot of the props are reused from the Cornfield. Here's 2 jack-o'-lantern men battling it out as the grand entryway here. Here's another crazy Steadicam shot to give you a bigger headache than the one you got while you watched the Blair Witch Project. Here's some more detail here showing you some of the fall props being used. Here's another stage. Hopefully a nice young lady will be dancing up there. This is a good entrance to use to see the Halloween-themed Universal 360 show. Looking at this footage reminds me how much I missed the cornfield. It was a great scare zone in my opinion. A lot of good places to hide here, but as a sequel to the original cornfield, I don't think this one quite delivers, even though I didn't see the finished product yet. Here's some more harvesting. And, remember that guy from the cornfield. That's a great looking prop. Love the facial expressions on that right there. Over here we're going to see another scarecrow as we pan the camera up. Oh yes. Wish I could have one of those in my yard, but I live in a freaking apartment. I don't own a yard. Oh well, another story for another day. Terror Mines from Jurassic Park. You guys will love those things right there. And we're coming up to the hub. This hub area is by the Animal Actors stage. Might be a good area for scares. Over there on the right will probably be blocked off, so you can't go to the ET area. Hope they add a little bit more stuff to this hub to give it more of a visual impact, like an icon or something to set this scare zone off. That's not really much. Got some pumpkins here in a cart, but want a little bit more impact, something to drive me in there. So hopefully they whip something up. As I pan the camera around, you'll see what I mean. There's nothing really visually stimulating in this hub here. Just a couple shrubs. Nothing really, maybe like a stage or a tractor, something that could pull us into the storyline a little bit better. As we walk down this scare zone, we realize it's not as vast as the cornfield, but, you know, it doesn't have as much land to work with, so I guess this will do. Thanks for watching the first unofficial Horror Night Diaries. There's just 15 days left until Horror Nights begin. So I hope to see you back here for some more unofficial production diaries.